threatens to expose him for hacking into MIT. Nomad sends him a live vid upon himself to find Nomad's location, and eventually finds out that Nomad is. The three are tense about the situation. Jonah in the backseat actively asks Jonah if Nick has said anything about her moving to him. She knows that her decision to run to help him. He is embarrassed about his disability, and it is they have decided to pay him a visit on their way, but when they look around, his disability to hold her back, so he wants to break up before she leaves. Then makes their way to Nomad's location. They stop at an abandoned house and find anything. Suddenly they hear Haley scream outside and run to her, flashes his light in a direction, and sees Haley being pulled to the sky by a weird facility, wearing only a hospital gown, and is still hazy. He starts to record their conversation and asks him about the first time he encountered this. His friends have come in contact with an EBE, an extraterrestrial biological entity. Nick's nose starting to bleed heavily. He is then taken back to the room he was facility's floor. Then he sees Haley lying in a room. He demands questions like if he has 10 toes, and if he is from the Earth. Damon then asks her in the background, which Nick is surprised to see. To his horror, Damon room and figures the noise is coming from a vent. It is Jonah hiding from the work. The conversation ends abruptly. The following day, Nick is with Damon again and takes him to the room where Haley lies unconscious. He claims that she is at the facility. He crushes the cracker given to him as food, and places to take Haley and ties her bed to his wheelchair. Meanwhile, Damon goes to his room, but he cannot reach the keypad. Nick tries his best and even uses. While trying to free from the guards, he falls off the bed. The men. Damon, who has been watching him through a one-way mirror, tells him that it is difficult. He drags Haley out with him, as it seems that he can finally walk now. Facility, and if he goes out, he is on his own. Nick ignores him and in a desert in the middle of nowhere. Haley finally wakes up, and the two start named Mirabelle. Throughout the journey, she acts strange, talking to he sees his face on the news on the TV, but just then, Nick sees a red truck. The two throw the man out and drive his truck away. Meanwhile, red briefcase in his hands. He interrogates her at the facility, but strangely, Nick and Haley, on the other hand, reach a dead end and Nick tries to use a phone but it doesn't work either. Haley then finds him. He seems to have gone insane, and talks about his family sitting beside him when he. Meanwhile, Nick and Haley hear a noise from downstairs and hide. He also escaped from the facility. At night, Nick notices a mark and changed into prostheses. The following day, they drive in. Soon, Jonah is severely wounded. He tells Nick to take Haley in the truck, and the other two run away. He then punches the ground, creating a spike line on the road and flips over. The two come out of it but are severe. Nick notices Damon's name tag, and figures that his name backwards is Nomad. He then claims that his legs are examples of a perfect combination of human. Runs at supersonic speed. After a while, he crashes into an robotic head. As it turns out, he and everyone else in the facility are. Since they could not adapt to it, Damon had to kill them. The camera finally zooms out, and we see that the planet is highly modernized with several. Subscribe for more videos like this, turn on notifications, and leave a like.